One man, 100 guests, 1,000 drinks. Drinking with Jason.
Now we're live. Boom. Welcome to Drinking with Jason, episode number 21. This week I am drinking some really interesting stuff with Gini Koch, and I got it right.
You did. I'm so proud.
I'm proud of myself too. That's probably the best accomplishment I had today. Getting your name right.
Awesome. Way to go. Go team.
So I was telling you this over a message before, but I didn't bring it up just when we were talking now. I had an author on 6 months ago, and he brought your name up then and was on my ass like half the podcast to get you on here. And I was like,
Germain, right?
What? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You know that son of a bitch.
I do. I think he's awesome. And he told me right afterwards that he had recommended me. And then he's checked every month to see if you'd gotten in touch with me. And at month 6, he was like ready to just like take that crowbar and do something. I'm like, no, he's finally gotten in touch with me. He's like, well, it is about time. You guys are going to love each other.
Yeah. He just kept sending me message. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Fine. I haven't reached out. Normally people contact me to be on, so I haven't had to do any actual work for it. So I just never contacted
sorry.
you. So
yeah, it was I'm sure it was so tough, you know, that really awkward moment of, hi, do you want to be on? Oh, hey, yeah, I've been wondering when you'd reach me. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's the step of searching for your name, and
it's so unusual. There's so many of me. Is one other.
And it's so much work. You know,
I know.
That friend request on Facebook. It's awful.
I know. I felt your pain. I did. Yeah.
So I did want to say I was very excited though when we were messaging back and forth, and before I could even tell you what it was, you said, "Are we drinking on this? Please God, tell me we're drinking on this," or something like that. I was like, we're gonna get along just fine.
Well, you know, tequila gets me through most book crunches, but I have other drinks that I really love, which is what we're having today. Can I show it off now? Please
do. This is an interesting drink.
We are having, I'm having an entire pitcher of they're called either French cocktails or Saint Germain cocktails. And this is I want to show off my blah, blah, blah glass, which all of my fans will know because that's the name of my blog. My daughter got this for me a few years ago. And anyway, this is Saint Germain. It's an elderflower liqueur, and it's mixed with either sparkling wine or white wine and a sparkling water, a club soda, and Saint Germain, which again is an elderflower liqueur, and it is one of my all-time favorite drinks. I adore it. And I'm going to, ask you to tell about your water experience, your water sports before this.
Oh, God damn it. So
you should really never tell me things because I will bring them up at awkward moments.
All right. So actually my wife's response is pretty funny too. She had to stop and buy the stuff for this drink. I'd never even heard of Saint Germain when you'd mentioned it.
I'm a woman of the world, honey.
Yes, you're very sophisticated. I can tell.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
Your giant pitcher of booze.
I'm a classy broad.
Yeah, I could tell.
Coming up a glass early just to get through it. Go on.
So anyway, she brought all this stuff home maybe an hour and a half ago. And when I was mixing this drink, per your specifications, I was sitting here at my desk because I was running out of time to get this podcast going. And when I opened this damn thing of sparkling water, it just douched me completely. My whole desk, both computers. I have a stack of books here I'm signing to send to people. They're all freaking waterlogged now.
That makes them rarer.
Yes,
when
that's
you
what it
screw
is.
it up, I always say that's a special rarity. You know, I've completely screwed someone's name or what I was writing or something. You know, it's like, this is a special one. This one's wrong.
Exactly.
It costs
when I write something and I scratch it out, it's like, no, that's fine.
That's more for eBay. Yeah.
So I'm cleaning all this shit off, and then I go ask my wife, did you purposely shake that bottle? She was like, no, but I wish I had. You asshole. Yeah.
I like your wife.
Sometimes I wonder why I do.
Yeah.
So anyway, SP was on my ass to get you on here. And I was looking, you've got an interesting series on here that he was telling me about on the podcast. Alien something.
It's the Alien / Catherine Kitty Cat series. And basically, Kitty discovers that the Roswell rumors are true, but with a twist. The aliens are here to help us as a side benefit. They're all gorgeous. The women, who she nicknames the Dazzlers, they care about brains and brain capacity. They're not metrosexual. They're sapiosexual. Sorry. They would be fine with metrosexual men, though.
Sapiosexual? I don't think I've heard that.
Sapiosexual means you're attracted to brains. It doesn't matter what the package, you only care about brains, and that's the Dazzlers. And so for them, the dreamiest, hottest guy on the planet is Stephen Hawking.
Damn.
To the point that Kitty has to put up like an edict if they can't go find him because they'll like kill him with love. And
wow, I'd be so unloved in that book.
Yeah, well, I can't speak to your brain capacity, so though apparently your wife's okay with you, so stick with that.
Yeah, well, I suckered her.
So basically, they are the men. The Dazzlers don't really consider their men that smart, so they are more interested in human men. And the ACs, they're from Alpha Centauri, and that's the nickname they gave themselves for a variety of reasons that you actually find out as the series goes on. The men just want our smart, gutsy women. And most of the younger generation wants to marry humans. And Kitty gets involved with Centaurian Division in protecting the planet from both things very external and very frightening, and very internal and very, politically, a lot of political animals are involved in this. And she ends up saving the day with hairspray and rock and roll and her knowledge of comics and rock music. And
I can see why SP loved this shit.
Yeah. So book 12, the first book is Touched by an Alien, and that came out in 2010.
That sounds like an erotica novel.
There is sex in this series, but it's not erotica. And book 12, which is Alien in Chief, just came out in December. Book 13, Camp Alien, comes out in May. So.
13 books in one series. That is ridiculous.
Oh, no, there's going to be more, dude. Way more. Right now I'm contracted 15, and I'm waiting to make an official announcement that... When is this airing?
12 hours? 15 hours?
Then I can't say, but I'm waiting for contracts, which anybody seeing this will be able to take a wild guess about what I can't say and what I'm waiting for. But yes, so we're contracted through minimum 15 right now.
Damn. And is it all the same primary characters?
Yes. Yes. You're following Kitty's adventures. It's a first-person POV series, so you see what Kitty sees and know what Kitty knows, and you're going through with her her experience with finding out that aliens are real, and finding out a lot of other things too, like the fact that her nearest and dearest have been lying to her for years about what it is they do in reality and things like that. So it's very fun.
So you haven't gotten tired of writing the same characters? Because I know that's a lot of with that once they hit like book 3 or 4.
If I'd written a character that had nothing really going on, maybe. But I made the decision. Like I said, Touched by an Alien is the first book, and our threat is very external. Alien Tango is the second book, and our threat is very internal. It's actually politicians behaving badly and in a very dangerous way. And I made the decision that I didn't want to do Monster of the Week every week. I didn't want it to be I didn't want to become Iron Man 2. Okay, I didn't want a bigger, badder Iron Man to fight, and now it's a bigger, badder Iron Man. I didn't want, it's a bigger Death Star, because that can only go about
Star Destroyer or whatever that.
Star Killer Base. Don't start me on the brilliance behind that. Really did not like that movie. And so I didn't want to be trapped like that, because there's a point in time where like you said, 3 or 4 books, now we've blown up the universe, we're done. I didn't want to do that. And when Kitty starts the series, she's 27, and I'm aging. I think now she's like 30, 31, something like that. I'd have to actually look and turn off the screen to be able to tell you. But, she's going through a lot, but 31 is certainly not, not the end. It's not even the middle of life anymore. So, I really like these characters. They're all a lot of fun to write. I love Kitty. I love all the characters. I have some that are very pushy and very loud and demanding, and they're usually the ones that keep the series rolling.
Okay. So you're contracted through 15?
Yes, so far, as of this moment. That's about to change.
Wow.
Yeah.
With what you can't say that you've basically said.
Right. I can't say it yet. Can't say it yet.
Peace to you too.
That's not what that means.
What? Oh, I didn't get it.
Anybody watching this is going to know what that means.
Unless they're complete dunce. I think
Right,
they
yeah.
probably figured that out. So is this is this through a well, if you're contracted, of course it's through a publisher. Which
It's
publisher
through
is it?
DAW, which is part of Penguin Random House. So
Have you
DAW
been with
does-
them through the whole series?
Yes, since book 1.
When was book 1?
April 2010.
Oh shit! Wow, you're
I'm
really
on a
hanging your hat on this. That's awesome.
This is two again. I'm a two book year contract. Well, DAW's a fabulous publisher, and why would you leave people that treat you well, give you fantastic covers, fantastic editing, worldwide distribution? Why would I leave that?
Hell yeah, I'm with you.
I don't even get the idea of. I actually had a friend. I don't know. This is easily 3 years, maybe 4 years ago now. I'd sold another series, and she said, "Oh well, are you going to keep your series with DAW?" And I'm like, "Why would I leave?" She said, "Well, maybe you could get a better deal somewhere else." It's like, it just doesn't work like that. And she was in publishing, and she's another author, and it was like it doesn't work like that. And maybe for some people it does, but I am loyal to people who are loyal to me, and DAW's been nothing but wonderful. Why would I want to leave that? They're a fabulous publisher. So
Nice.
I other publishers. Pretty much I like all my publishers. I've had a couple of negative experiences, but I don't think you're in any business without negative. I mean, there's always going to be something that's like, oh, I wish that hadn't happened. But for the most part, it's great. I'm in so publishing right now really has 4 quadrants. You've got traditional, the big 5, traditional small press, ebook only, and self-publishing. And I've been in all 4. Ebook only to me was a waste. I'm not saying I would never do it again, but I did not feel that I got what I could have out of those publishers. And for me, if you're going to do that, just self-publish. I'm happy I have stuff. Yeah, 3 sips. I'm already like can't talk. I'm
Hell
happy.
yeah.
Yeah, happy I have things self-published. Happy I have things with small traditional. Happy I have things with big 5. It was big 6 when I started. So
Way to hedge your bets there.
It's called diversification. I'm a businesswoman first. I'm a writer second. Diversification is the only thing that keeps you going. That's why your stock portfolio is supposed to be diversified, so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket in case that company tanks.
So with your deal on these books, do you, since you said you sign with small presses and self-publish, do you leave little like smaller projects in between?
I do novels and smaller projects in between. I write a lot, and I have a lot of deadlines, which is the only reason I get things done. I have a self-published novel series, the Necropolis Enforcement File series. The second book in that is coming out this year. I have another series, the Alexander Outland series, and we're waiting on the second book. That's one of the ones that had issues with publisher, but I think we're resolving something, and I hope to have exciting news for my fan base on that one. Both Night Music, which is the second in the Necropolis Enforcement Files series, which is the follow-up to the Night Beat, and Alexander Outland Space Pirate. I get a lot of questions from fans, so I will actually and I swear to God, Night Music is coming this year, you guys. And should have some good news about the Alexander Outland series a little later this year. So I've got that.
Shit.
I started writing novels set in the Old West, and my novel in that, Natural Born Outlaws, which is the first of a trilogy, The Legend of Belladonna, has been sold to an audiobook company, and I wish I remembered their names. I never think to look it up before I do one of these things. And so I was like, I don't know who they are, but they are the company. It's not Audible. They're the company that actually gets you into like every truck stop in the nation and the Cracker Barrels and things like that. And it's just so exciting because they're going into places where people are driving and want to hear something. And so I'm really excited about that. So that I'm excited about the sale. I'm excited about where they're going in. And then I'm in a lot of anthologies as well. I am, oh God, do we want the listing? I guess we want the listing, huh?
Bring it on.
221 Baker Streets. I'm writing as I'm writing as Gini Koch, and that is, we got to put Sherlock Holmes and John Watson any place, anywhere, anytime, and anyhow. I took my Holmes and Watson and made my Holmes a woman, and I put them in present day Los Angeles. So my story in that anthology is all the single ladies. We also, three of us got to write the follow-up novellas to our characters. Mine is A Study in Starlets, and those are all out in ebook right now, but they're coming in a physical collection in April, which is Alt Sherlock Holmes, New Visions of the Great Detective. And I swear to God, I think Abingdon did that because that's the publisher. It's ALT period. I just think they did that so that we would be at the top of the search lists. There is no other good reason for that title. I cannot come up with a good reason for that title other than, 221, and it was spelled out. That put us at the bottom. Alt's going to put us at the top. Brilliant. So I really think that's why. I will take it. Top of the search list is much better than bottom. Let's see what else. I'm in the Madness of Cthulhu Volume 1, which is me writing as J.C. Koch. That's Lovecraftian horror.
I just bought a book. Oh, what was it called? Madness of Cthulhu?
Volume 1, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was going to say, if you want to go run and find the book, I'll tell you if it's the right one. I'm in Kaiju Rising, also as J.C. Koch. I'm in the Mammoth Book of Kaiju, also as J.C. Koch. And there's some other ones coming up. I'm in the Temporally Out of Order anthology. That's as Gini Koch, and that is that has Alien Time Warp in it, which is an Alien series short story. I am in Clockwork Universe Steampunk versus Aliens, which has the first of my Steampunk Alien series short story.
Steampunk Alien series, interesting.
Yes, I took characters from the existing Alien series. I took the only ones that actually could go into the past, if you will, and they are in an alternate steampunk universe. And I've already done the multiverse in the series, so we now know that there's a multiverse and all these other things going on, which is one of the fun things you can do with science fiction, which is pretty much anything you want. So that's out. Let's see, both of those two, Temporally Out of Order and Clockwork Universe, are from Zombies Needs Brains, which is a publisher. Swear to God, it really is. Then from the UFO Publishing, I'm in Unidentified Funny Objects 3 with Live at the Scene, and I'm in Unidentified Funny Objects 4 with the second in my steampunk series, Support Your Local Alien. And I am forgetting at least several, but
I think people get the idea. That's all.
Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. You can find everything on the bibliography page on my website.
Yeah, I was just looking at your Amazon page. You've got like pages and pages and pages of stuff.
Yeah.
9. Shit.
The hardest working girl in show business.
You had mentioned you were a full-time author.
I am.
Congrats. You were.
Thank you.
Maybe one of 4 or 5 I've had on who were full-time.
Yeah. Well, thank God my husband still has a full-time job.
Hey, mine too.
Yeah.
My wife, not my husband. Although she could kick my ass like she was my husband. So
yeah. So yeah, no, I am. It's one of those things that I have so many deadlines. I don't know how other people do it. I could get it if you're on 1 book a year, but I'm on 2 books a year minimum, and all those other things don't just pull. I don't just pull them out of the air. I have to write those. So. I have right now 1 short story and 2 novels due basically before the end of April.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of words.
What, like 85,000 words each or something?
Oh, that's adorable. That's really cute.
Oh, yeah? They're big?
That's really cute. That's adorbs. I don't think I've ever written an 85,000 word novel. That would be like, for me, that falls under novella length. Yeah, no. Touched by an Alien was somewhere in the 120,000 word count, and they've only gotten bigger since then. Camp Alien, which is book 13, turned in at 192,000 words.
Oh,
that's
my
a lot.
God.
Yeah,
This
yeah. I'm a really good value.
novels.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a really good value. It's like, hey, if you want a long book, you got. And I'm a very fast writer, so I write in a thriller style. So you just turn the pages really, really fast while you're reading. So it doesn't feel like 192,000 words when you're reading it. It really feels like it when you're writing it, though.
That is a giant ass book. That is impressive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That they're getting it out in less than 600 pages is even more impressive to me. It's amazing what you can do with font size and margins.
Man, what are they like?
Your
Do you have like a magnifying glass to read it? Holy shit!
No, actually, it's slightly larger type. There were a couple that were Alien in the House, which is book 7. I won the RT Book Review Awards for the best futuristic romance novel of whatever year that was. 13, 14, I can't remember now. Maybe 15. I think it was 15. But that one weighed a pound. And they had the type so small that I literally had readers saying, I had to use a magnifying glass. I'm like, I have no control over that. That's production. But I think they went up a little larger in size since then. But it was readable when I did my galleys, and my galleys are at real size. So it's fun. I tried to write a short book. I couldn't manage it on this one.
You tried to what? I'm sorry?
I tried to write a shorter book. I could not manage it on this one. But part of the problem was about halfway through, I realized I really had needed another book in there, where I should have had a book between Alien in Chief and Camp Alien. But I didn't realize that till I was midway through, and I was already late. And sales had already sold this into everything, so there's nothing I could do. You can't. I could have added, if it could have come after, I could have done that. My editor would have allowed that, but you can't say, oh, by the way, you need to change the title, the cover art, and the promotion for this book, because I got to change the title because it's really a different book. I'm writing that other book next. You cannot do that.
Right.
You can do that a year in advance, even maybe 6 months in advance. You can't do it when you're already a month late. That is not going to work. Yeah. So everything been done. So yeah, it's a really long book. So we've set up, my editor and I have talked about things, and we've set up the next books that are coming. I'm rearranging a couple titles, and I'll be able to, I have what I'm considering a catch-all book coming, so that when I have a lot of plots and a lot of subplots. By now we've got a cast of realistically thousands, and George R. R. Martin has nothing on me. He really has nothing on me. And I have a lot of threads that are open and working, and they don't all close at the end of each book. So you have to have something, and I've actually put this book in as my next catch-all, so when I have all these plot threads that I want to tie up, it's there, and then I can go on and do the next things, which is what I really needed for Camp Alien, but didn't get. So for my fans, they're getting 2 books in one.
Well, and how long is this one?
This is the 192,000 word one. So it really is 2 books in one.
That's like unbelievable. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long does it take you to write one of those typically?
It really depends. There is no typical anymore. There used to be a typical before how do I put it? Because I was already contracted and I was still doing it. Yeah. I was already contracted and still doing this. I was writing really, really fast. But once you have to promote and you have to do all the business side of things as well as writing, it slows you down. And you go to conventions, you go to cons, you go to all these things. That takes time away and energy away. Book tour takes time and energy away, and so on and so forth. So it just varies. I will tell you that Penguin Random House Production says I am not writing them fast enough. I'll tell you that. Yeah, because being late is really hard on everybody. It's not just hard on the author. It's hard on editing. It's hard on production. It's really hard on production. Because by the time you're late, your book's sold, okay? Bookstores are making plans to have your book there. It's self-publishing, you can be late. As everyone waiting for night music, yes, I know. years late because I'm
Speaking my
self-publishing that
language.
series. Yeah, but I'm self-publishing that, and so that doesn't have deadlines. So that's the thing that constantly gets pushed back. It has a deadline now because I have a licensing agreement with Museum of Robots, who are awesome. They make gorgeous jewelry and household textiles like napkins and tote bags and table runners and things like that. And they've licensed me so they can do anything they want with my stuff. And we are doing, I'll be at Tucson Festival of Books in March on the teen weekend. I think it's the 13th and 14th. And we're doing a soft launch of one or two products there. Then Phoenix Comic Con is in the first weekend of June, and we're doing a slightly larger soft launch. But the hard launch is July at San Diego Comic Con. And I'm signing Night Music in their booth the entire weekend. And that means it has to be done and in my hot little paws so that I have a book to sign. So now I have a deadline. So that's why that's getting done now.
And what date is that?
That's the Comic-Con starts. July's
something. Fine. So basically you get it done like 3 days beforehand and
oh no, you self-publishing does not work that fast. You've got to for physical books, you have to have everything up. You need to get a proof it, make sure it's all right, make any changes, get another proof if you made changes. So that's a process, and that takes some time, and then you can order the books. You're crazy if you just throw it up there.
What I do is I don't wait for. I'm assuming you go through CreateSpace.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't wait because it takes them goddamn forever to send me my proof copy. So I put it up for sale like real fast, and then I order it on Prime, and then I take it back down, and then I can get the book in like a day, and then I can proof it real quick.
Oh my God, I love it! You game the system. That's
and
awesome.
Then I can just and because I get a royalty for it, it only costs me like $1 more, and I get free shipping.
Wow,
so
that is a brilliant game. I am going
it works,
to try
or
that
if the proof is fine, then you just put it back up for sale.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna talk to my team about that one. That is clever. Well, okay, this has totally been worth my time. Awesome, you rock. Someone from Amazon is gonna see this and just come down on us so damn hard, but
Oh yeah. Well, it takes like 2 or 3 weeks for them to ship your damn proof sometimes.
It does. Weird. It takes forever. Yeah.
So I put it up for sale, order it, take it back down.
I like it.
Although one time I forgot to take it back down. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
I gotta be really careful of that.
Everything was fine, though. I didn't need to fix anything.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this is on people. People are waiting for it. So I have to be careful with that, with this particular book. Or like, I don't know how you warn an entire fan base. Hey, don't buy this the second it comes on. Buy it the second time, so.
Yeah, I always get people who are messaging me that they bought the book before I even knew it was up for sale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I usually like to wait when it's up on sale and then buy a copy of myself just to make sure something didn't get screwed up before I announce it.
Yeah.
And I always have to be emailing me because I'm like, are you just like hitting refresh on Amazon?
Some people are, which is awesome. I mean, readers like that are the best. So.
How long have you been a full-time author?
Pretty much since 2010. But realistically, before people are like, oh my God, all I need is one series and I'll be set. Things conspired to make me be full-time author. I worked full-time for corporate America, where I did majority of my writing. I already had an agent and I had a 2-book contract with DAW, but then I got caught in a layoff situation and did the layoff, started a couple internet-based businesses, and that was fine. And I was still writing and doing all this stuff. And then my edits came due from DAW for Touched by an Alien. And I had the first 4 books in the series already done. And there's pros and cons to that. The pros are, hey, you're ahead. The cons are that any edits that happen on the first book have to be carried through. So basically, I did edits on Touched by an Alien, and then I had to carry those edits through on Alien Tango, Alien the Family, and Alien Proliferation. By the time I was done with that, now it's the edits for Alien Tango. which I now have to carry through to Alien in the Family and Alien Proliferation, and so on. So there was a 2-year gap where I didn't actually write a new book in the series. I was just editing them based on edits that I had. So because a lot of them were all of my editors' edits are good. Okay, I think Sheila Gilbert is my editor at Dawn. She's one of the best editors in the world. And so it's not like, oh, I think it was terrible and she was making me kill my deathless prose. She was making my books better. So if you make a change or you add a character or you change a character's relationship in book 1, that has to go all the way through. And now you do book 2 and you make some other changes, that has to go all the way through. So that took time. And really when the edits came through and I realized, oh my God, I'm going to have to do this. My husband and I talked about it and I was like, what do I do? Do I, go back and get a regular job? Do I really focus on the businesses or do I focus on the writing? He's like, you have worked too hard for too long to get to this point. If you don't focus on the writing, your career is going to die and it'll all have been for nothing. Focus on the writing. We will figure out how to make it work. So he's awesome.
Yeah, he got pretty lucky there.
Yeah. Well, and he looks like Tom Cruise, so I really scored. But
does he have Tom Cruise money?
Sadly, no.
And you're still with him? What the hell?
I had to go for looks and personality and all the good stuff, and I had to give up on the money side. And
man,
I know.
My roof leaks.
Yeah.
We're doing this a day later than I usually do, or 2 days, because you're so important.
I am, yeah. Actually, I had 2 movie premieres, which is why you didn't get me.
What I was going to ask about. What do you mean movie premieres? Like in the traditional sense?
Yes, real movie premieres. I review for Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm one of our regular staff
For a second, I thought you meant like something based on one of your books. I was like,
oh God, no, dude, no. I would be like popping champagne in the background and going, oh my God, yeah. No, we would not be nearly as worried about money with that. But no, I do movie reviews for Slice of Sci-Fi. So I had two movies this week.
Anything good? What you watch?
These don't actually. We're starting a sister thing, pop culture geeks, and so these might fall more into this. I saw Risen, the Jesus epic, and
Risen? I don't think I've heard of that.
Oh, it's out. It's coming out this weekend, and it's basically. Let me back up. A couple weeks ago, I saw Hail Caesar, the Coen brothers' newest. I loved it. It was hilarious.
Haven't seen that yet.
It's really funny. I don't normally like the Coen brothers, so I don't know if regular Coen brothers fans will like it.
Really?
They do nothing. My husband liked Raising Arizona. I never even smiled through the whole movie. Could not deal with Fargo, and he didn't like Fargo either. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou did not appeal to me at all. And
I don't like that movie either.
I keep saying I want to see the big. I keep on saying I want to see the Big Lebowski, but I've never done it. So I mean, I know I can quote The Dude Abides, but I get it, but I don't see it. So, but the trailers made it look really cute and funny, and it's really sweet and it's really hilarious. And Hail Caesar, it's a movie within a movie. It's basically a love letter to old Hollywood. And so you're on this lot that is Capitol Pictures, which is really MGM. And we're following Eddie Mannix, who's the fixer, who is a much nicer version of who Eddie Mannix really was. And you're seeing, we have scenes that are in every big thing. So the Western, the water extravaganza, the big epic, the song and dance number stuff. So we were seeing things through all of that, but the noir part of this, what the noir movie is that somebody kidnaps George Clooney's character, who is the lead, the big actor, who is the lead for the sword and sandals biblical epic Hail Caesar. Okay, Risen is basically Hail Caesar, but serious. It's the Roman discovers Jesus and makes a conversion. Okay, so and that's what Risen is. It's fine. I think it's going to do really, really well because it was very interesting in the premiere. The critics section was not very full, but the theater itself was packed, and it wasn't the only premiere for the movie going on around Phoenix, and every one of them was packed with people. So I think it's going to do well. It's reverent without being treacly. It does, however, fall into the noble white man saves the natives thing. And we left the theater, and I turned to my husband. I said, I know exactly how black people feel in most of these damn movies, where it's like, well, but for the noble white educator, but for the noble white businessman, but for the noble white this, okay? Because in this case, the Jews are the natives, the noble Jews. And if it wasn't for the Roman, the apostles would never have made it to spread the Jesus's message, because they're just sweet bumblers. It was, I was like, oh, wow. So yes, that was one of those. I'm sitting there going, this, oh, its fan base is going to eat this up. But for me, it was like, it's a good movie. It was entertaining. I expected to make a lot of Hail Caesar jokes throughout it. There were a couple Hail Caesar moments. There really were, but the one that got a laugh from the entire audience, okay, Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, he's in this movie. He's got a great agent because he's got second billing for a role that is not second, okay.
Lucius, all right.
Lucius.
It said he was the Lucius character.
Lucius, he is Lucius, but that's the issue. His father in 8 Harry Potter movies is Lucius Malfoy. This is Draco Malfoy on screen. I don't care what you say. When they said his name, the entire audience tittered. Okay? Every one of us, the faithful, the press, we're all like, and everyone's trying to keep it quiet because no one wants to disturb the gravity of the situation. I'm sorry, this character is not important. You could have named him anything. How about Matthias? I don't know. Pick a name. Pick a name. Anything other than Lucius or Draco, and it would be fine. But as soon as it says Lucius, everybody laughed because we're thinking, oh my God, he's got his father's name. It was just really stupid. Really stupid.
I'm having trouble telling. Did you like this movie?
You know, it was okay. It has flaws, okay, but it's reverent without being nauseating, and that is difficult to pull off. So, and it's not the horror that the Passion of the Christ was. You know, that was biblical torture porn. This is not. It really was. Okay, this is not. There are battle scenes. There are some scenes of torture. There are corpses. You do see the end of the crucifixion. But the guy playing Yeshua, aka Jesus, actually looks like a Jew, a Middle Eastern Jew. So there were a lot of things. I mean, they were very careful with it in a good way. It's a very muted movie. There's not a lot of loud talking, other than a couple of battle scenes. There's not a lot of action, but it's not boring. So
it wasn't overly preachy.
No, honestly it wasn't. That was kind of shocking. Like I said, it wasn't overly preachy. It wasn't treacly. If my husband loves swords, he loves Hong Kong Fooey schlock. Okay, if it's got somebody kicking ass with kung fu, he's there. And he loves gigantic epics. This is like basically Ben-Hur for 2016. That's what Risen is. It's Ben-Hur without a chariot race for 2016.
That's pretty lofty praise there. Ben-Hur?
Ben-Hur's not that great a movie.
Yeah, but it's considered like an all-time classic.
Yeah, it's because Charlton Heston's in it. Is a really great chariot scene.
It's boring as shit, but it's considered an all-time classic.
Risen is much more. I felt Risen was more interesting than Ben-Hur. It's shorter, for one thing. But, I mean, it's fine. If you like epics, it's not really epic in scope because you could tell they were working with a smaller budget, which actually forced them to be focusing on characters, which made it more interesting. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You could go to see it. I would caution taking younger children, you know, because of the crucifixion scene and seeing bloated corpses is just that they did a really good job of showing how corpses bloat, and it's like, look away, look away. You don't want to see it. And so, but it's not like they linger, but they're very accurate. You know, the flies buzzing around and how bad it smells and everything else. So I think they did a really good job. I think my rating was 3.5 stars. out of 5. It's not, it's not a movie I ever want to see again, but I actually didn't regret seeing it. I thought I was going to sit there making jokes the whole time. So it wasn't bad. So if that's your cuppa, it's great. Race is excellent. Race is the Jesse Owens story. And I ran track way back when. And anyone who runs track knows Jesse Owens. He broke anything he did, he was breaking records. And he won. He was black, and he won 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympics in 1936, which was basically all of America doing this to Hitler. And that's really how it was. It's a really good biopic. I'm not certain, I don't know how accurate it is to his real life, but it's really well done. And there's only one slow moment. And there are a couple of characters that I think are not developed well enough. They are important, and I think they should have been developed a little bit more. But other than that, it's really good. And one of the things that it really brings home, and I don't even know if it was intentional on the part of the filmmakers, it brings home how far we have not come in this country in terms of race. Because there are things that are happening that you're like, yeah, that's still going on. Still going on.
This isn't out yet, right?
No, like Risen, it opens this weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you get tickets to premieres because of this.
I gotta see Deadpool. I gotta go to the Deadpool premiere. I fought for that too. I loved it. Loved Deadpool.
I saw it on Saturday, and I thought it was fantastic. People were so excited for it. I was starting to get concerned. It's not going to be that good, and it blew me away.
The reason I had faith was Ryan Reynolds, who loves this property and loves the character and has spent a decade fighting to get it. I really had faith in Ryan, and it was not misplaced. God, I love that movie. Cannot wait to see it again. Cannot wait to own it and watch it over and over again. I also liked Zoolander 2, which I know is getting ripped to shreds by critics. But then Zoolander got ripped to shreds by critics too. Zoolander 2, I think, is honestly a really good sequel, even though it's 15 years later.
There's 2 genres I don't pay attention to critics in, and it's comedies and horror movies, because critics hate both of them for some reason. So, I don't know how you make it. Yeah. So, well, it's just like, remember, you're younger than me, but remember when Pirates of the Caribbean came out? Of course.
Critics trashed that like you couldn't believe. And it's funny because I watched, and when it came out and they did a redo on the DVD, all of a sudden every critic loved the movie more. Because it made $1 billion jillion. Suddenly it was art, So yeah, but I really enjoyed Zoolander 2, and if you liked Zoolander or loved Zoolander,
I like Zoolander a lot.
You will like Zoolander 2. Okay, Zoolander is one of my family's favorite movies, so I didn't find it disappointing at all. I thought it really handled a 15-year gap exceptionally well, and they turned Zoolander into more of a it's a spy. Zoolander 2 is like a spy thriller where James Bond is Derek Zoolander and Hansel, and they're idiots. But it's still, they're still idiots. They're still idiots, but they're still idiots with their hearts in the right place. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought it did what it's supposed to do really, really well, and I adore Billy Zane, and he's in it, and that made me so very happy. I couldn't believe it. I'm in this premiere, right? And my husband couldn't come with me on this one, so I'm sitting next to strangers, right? And I go, it's Billy Zane! And I'm like, I just sound like the biggest dork in the world next to these other critics, but it's Billy Zane. I'm so happy, and then I calm down. But I really enjoyed it.
Zane too.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So if you did Zoolander 2, I totally recommend.
All right, I'll have to check that out then. We haven't been going to the movies as much as I usually like to. I'm a gigantic, ridiculous movie buff.
Yeah.
But lately, we haven't been able to go as much. But we definitely went to see Deadpool.
Love that.
And I'll tell you one thing I'm really hoping for that is, as much as I love that movie like by itself, I'm really hoping it can kind of revive the R-rated movie.
Oh God, me too. And I know, and there's all these memes on Facebook saying, "Oh, well, this isn't the first R-rated movie and a superhero." No, it's the first one in like 20 years. However, kids. So most of us adults are really excited about it.
Look, anytime something gets popular, people want to shit on it. So whatever.
Well, honestly, we have The Hangover to thank for all of this. The Hangover,
R-rated comedy, baby.
R-rated comedy, in the first one in like 2 decades, and because it did that and did so well, others went, okay, R isn't the kiss of death. And I think it's moving back. Honestly, one of the things I said in my review for Slice with Deadpool, in the Midnight Cowboy days, I don't even know if you were born in those days. I was very little, but I was very little.
How old do you think I am?
You look 22. Okay, you have a very nice little baby face.
The booze.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't born for Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah. Okay, but Midnight Cowboy had an X. Okay, it had an X for content. Okay. Porn took the X rating and ran with it, which is why nothing will ever get rated X again, because X was 21 or over. I think if porn hadn't done that, Deadpool would have gotten an X. For content that it probably honestly deserved. And I'm looking online and seeing these people. I'm taking my 5-year-old. He loves Deadpool. I've taken my children.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, no, you know what? There's this whole group of parents who, and then there's the other.
Why are your kids reading a Deadpool comic book?
They're not. They're seeing Deadpool in Spider-Man and in the other things where they have Deadpool neutered. Okay.
Shit.
And, well, no, and these parents are like, I don't believe in censorship. That's awesome. I'm cool with that with reading. I'm not so cool with that with the visual images. And people, I'm reading this all over the place, right? Because there literally are the fuck you idiots. Don't take your children in. Fuck you. I can do what I want with. Don't you tell me how to parent. And I think they all sound exactly like that. That's how they sound in my mind when I read their comments. They're
all trailer trash.
Yeah, we have a bunch of fucking idiots out there, and I don't care what their college level education is. There are a bunch of idiots. I want my child prepared for the real world. Jesus Christ, I hope the real world is not the bullet goes through 3 heads. Okay? I really hope that's not the fucking real world your child's living in. Okay?
Wait. Are you trying to tell me the real world doesn't have a giant man made of metal skin?
Exactly. Okay. Yes. It's just ridiculous. What? So there's literally 2 factions. Deadpool. They're now after Deadpool. There's 2 types of people: people smart enough not to take their children, and people who think they're proving a fucking point by dragging their toddlers into this movie to see it, to show how they don't have to listen to all the likes of you.
Are you also saying you shouldn't prove a point with your children?
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm going to lose fans. Actually, I'm not. My fans aren't this stupid. Literally, my fans are not this stupid. So I have faith in my fans that none of my fans are racing their toddlers. If their kid's over 12, then I feel like it's dependent upon that kid's maturity level, that kid's ability to understand that. Whether is that kid reading the comics? If you're letting your child read the Deadpool comics, at whatever age you're letting them read them, the Deadpool ones, not Deadpool with Spider-Man or Deadpool with the Avengers or Deadpool hanging out at the X-Mansion. Deadpool. If you're reading Deadpool's comics and you're letting your kid do that, okay, they've already seen it. Okay, whatever, right? If, however, your child's only experience is Deadpool in the fucking Marvel game or Lego, you are
the Avengers.
You deserve the worst parent of the world award. There are people competing for the worst parent of the world award right now, dragging their children. Well, my son wants to see it. That's great. You know what? When I was 15, I wanted to see porn, and my mother was stupid enough. Flesh Gordon came out when I was like 15 or 16, and my mother,
like where this is going.
My mother did not realize it was flesh, and there was 2 versions. There was an X-rated version, and then they removed any penetration shot and turned it R. My mother was one of those parents. You can't tell me what to take my child. I saw so many movies I should never have seen young, and I am still bitter about it because there were things that I should never have seen that gave me nightmares, that gave me terrors, that I shouldn't have been exposed to young, that she dragged me along because she didn't want to go to a movie by herself. My mother was batshit crazy. So
I can't tell that it bothers you at all.
No, okay. It's going to bother a lot of these kids, okay? So she takes me to Flesh Gordon, and I'm sitting on the aisle. She's on the inside. And she thought it was Flash Gordon. Don't ask me why she didn't realize that was an E, not an A. She didn't get it. She thinks we're going to see the space opera from her very little youth, right? No. And she's like, we need to leave. I'm like, I was glued to the screen. She couldn't budge me. I was like, oh no. For once, you've finally taken me to an R-rated movie that I am 110% behind, and I am not leaving this shit, okay? Not only that, but my best friend and I, he and I bought tickets to, this is in the day when you could do this. We bought tickets to some G-rated movie and sat in Flesh Gordon for the entire afternoon watching it over and over and over again. We learned so much. It was educational. Okay. That is what happens with this, okay? If you are an idiot parent dragging your child to an R-rated movie, at one point in time, you're going to choose Flesh Gordon, and your kid ain't going to leave. And you're going to wonder why your child is sexually active at a young age. It was a primer, okay? Wow!
Fucking Flesh Gordon.
We didn't know. It's like Dan. My best friend's name is Danny, and Danny and I were like, I didn't even know that existed. Oh my God, you can do that. He's like, this is the best moment of my life. This is the best movie I've ever seen. I'm like, and we're staying for the next one. You know, and we just watched over. We did that it only stayed in our town for like 2 weeks. And for 2 weeks, Danny and I were going to the movies all the time and pretending, oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, how was that? How was that Disney flick? Fantastic. You know. But
I've never heard of Flesh Gordon. I never knew this was a.
Oh my God, no! It's hilarious. It is an X-rated comedy. It's a spoof of Flash Gordon set with sex. It's hilarious. For example, there are Penisaurus monsters.
Penis. All right, I'm a little upset. I didn't think of that myself.
It's hilarious. Penisaurus monsters. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. And if you get the X-rated version, you see the penetration. And if you get the R-rated version, you don't. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
So it's a
now
comedy
I want to go to Amazon
porn.
and find it. It's comedy porn.
Huh.
It's comedy porn. This is right before Triple X. Well, but this is right before $2. Oh my God, buy it. This is right before porn itself took over X and made a triple X and double X and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. This is possibly the vanguard leading into it of Flesh Gordon, but it was made as a series. Candy was as well. Candy was an X-rated film that had a tremendous number of top stars like Walter Matthau in it. And it was also X that was trying to be more than, it was trying to be a film as well as X. So Candy and Flesh Gordon would be a really good 70s porn, right before porn became what we all know it is today, double feature.
I have never seen Candy either.
I had a very, very eclectic childhood. My mother didn't take me to that one. That one, I was dating an older boy. We got in. Because you know what? NC-17, X and R, you only have to be with someone who's over 18.
Right.
Okay. So I got to see St. Candy, I think it's 16, because I was dating a 20-year-old.
Yeah. From 1968, that one? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Marlon Brando? Holy shit.
Yes. It's got a gigantic cast.
James Coburn.
Yes, I saw it. It came out again in '68. I was way too young to see that. But it
Ringo
came out
Starr?
again.
What the?
Yes. It revived every few years. Sounded like Disney. You know how Disney in the olden Disney in the olden days, the movie would release and then it would go into the vault, and 7 years later it would be released. So every 7 years a Disney picture was coming back up. So, you know, like you could see the Aristocats first run, and then 7 years later you could see it again. And every year there were like 2 movies that re-released.
I think the last ones I did that with was it maybe Aladdin or Lion King or something? It was like right when it stopped.
Well, because VHS became
right
across the board, and you didn't have, they were still doing with the VHS tapes, and then somewhere along Disney realized the world doesn't work like this anymore, and now everything's available on DVD.
Well, Disney was the one who fought VHS hardcore. Like they didn't get it at all.
And then once they did, then they took over. So yeah, so movies in these days would revive, and Candy was one of those that revived. So I saw it
like a porn revival.
It was it was almost considered an art film. Look at the cast. Okay, the
That's
cast
incredible.
makes it into an art film, and it's actually it's a statement on how we fuck over innocence, literally.
Candy.
That's the point.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
this. I guess I'm not up on my old porn movies. I'll have
Sorry.
to,
Like I said, I'm
getting an education.
Yeah. So Candy and Flesh Gordon, that's a really good porn double feature. My husband's now like, and I'm making a note that our next Amazon order.
he's one clicking right now.
Stop talking and get that order in on Amazon. So, but yeah. Like I told you, it's like I don't know where we're going with this, but no worries, we don't need a script. So
yeah, we've now delved into porn.
Yes, we have. Well, no, classy porn.
That's true. Classy porn. It was shot on 35 millimeter.
These porns, no. Flesh Gordon was in the nicest sit-down theater in my town, and it was there for 2 weeks. Flesh Gordon and the R version was in the nicest sit-down, the newest one at the new mall, there for 2 weeks. Candy was at the drive-in. Okay, and at sit-down theaters. Okay, this was the day. This was before porn was porn. Okay, now you go on the internet, type in porn, and your choices are so myriad. It's like, it's not 57 channels and nothing on. It's 570 channels and everybody's getting it on. Wasn't that way? Wasn't that way in the 70s? Okay, it didn't exist like this. And so porn was mostly in magazines, or you had to sneak the reel in. These were films, okay? These were classy films being made to make their point. And swear to God, Flesh Gordon is a comedy. Trust me, when you watch it.
Is it a funny comedy?
Actually, it is. It actually is. I don't know how well it holds up. I haven't seen it in a long time. But I still remember laughing through most of this movie. Not because they were having sex, because of the one-liners and the sexual situations and all this other stuff. Like early in the start, Flesh and Dale are in a plane that gets hit with a sex ray, and everybody's having sex, and the plane is going down as everybody else is going down. Flesh is the only one not affected by it. He gets a parachute, and he rescues Dale, and she's slipping down him. He's like, "You've got to hold on." She's got to hold on, and she hits his penis, and then she starts giving him a head, and she's like, he's like, "She can hold on now." It's just funny. It's okay. She's holding on because she's sucking his cock, right? So.
Yeah, I've got it here on Amazon. I might have to.
I'm just telling you, it's worth it.
I'm not finding Candy, though. When I search for Candy, I get Hard Candy, which is not the same thing.
No, that's actually an excellent album by the Counting Crows and an okay album by Madonna.
I brought up the movie. Have you ever seen that movie with Ellen Page?
No.
Hard Candy?
It's maybe,
disturbing.
But
it's like super disturbing.
Oh, I'm sure my mother dragged me to it then, but hopefully I've blocked it out.
Well, it's from 2006. It's
no, I have not.
Ellen Page is in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have not.
She tortures a pedophile in the movie.
Oh, okay, I know what that is. Yes. No, I made the decision not to go to that, but yeah. But no, Candy. Yeah, Candy. I don't know if Candy's available, but if it is, grab it.
I'm not seeing it on Amazon, but Flesh Gordon is, and that sounds like an all-time classic.
It is.
How long have you been doing movie reviews?
Several years now. I started reviewing for Slice, I think, in 2011. And at that time, I actually had a column, and I would do reviews every month or so on comic books and all this other stuff. It's like 2011, 2012. And then my deadlines got too much. And it was like, okay, the column has to go because I'm never going to be able to do it again in my lifetime. And then we started doing more and more movie reviews. We also do television reviews. We do a 5 episodes in thing where, we pick our shows and you watch 5 episodes and then you rate it, which is kind of fun. With my deadline. Yeah, I'm really actually grateful to Netflix and Amazon for creating the binge mentality, because a couple of years ago I was just like, I can't watch anything or I'm never going to write a book again, right? Now, it's basically okay to save them up and binge them on a weekend, or save them up and binge them tonight. Tonight I'm not doing anything. I just turned into the story. I'm done. And it's great because I cannot have anything I'm sitting down every week watching every time. It doesn't exist for me anymore. It's not possible. And I like the fact that I can save shows and binge them. DVRs are great for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So like my most recent 5 episodes in was Supergirl. I
haven't watched that yet. Is that any good?
I really like it. Well, I like the Berlanti Superhero Factory. Okay, I think Arrow is great. Even though I can't watch it anymore because it's too dark, and most of what I write is funny, and so it's difficult for me to not watch light stuff because it gets to me. I really like the Flash. Behind on that. Supergirl is really sunny. It's set in National City, which is Los Angeles, and Supergirl is happy to be what it is. It's very, very positive feminist message. I feel like anyone with girls should be watching this because it's really doing female empowerment right. She's allowed to have a love life. She's allowed to be in love with somebody she can't necessarily have. She's allowed to be in all these situations, but she's still a strong heroine who's working, who's doing all these things. I mean, she's really, really cool. I really like it. I like the female relationships in it very much. I enjoy it. I've seen some people complaining about the acting, and I don't know what they're talking about. I really think it's good. I really like it.
It's interesting because I remember when the commercials first started coming on, the first couple commercials looked terrible.
Oh no, it's
I don't
really
know
good.
if they hadn't finished the effects yet. It looked really cheesy.
Maybe, yeah. No,
and
it's
then
good.
I remember the pilot came out and people were like, eh. And then like a couple episodes later, people were talking about how much better it was. So I haven't known if I should watch it yet.
No, I think it's really good. I really, that's one of the shows I'm keeping. I really like it. So very fun. I'll be doing an Agent Carter review soon. I'll be doing Lucifer soon. Again, these are binge. I gotta get caught up on binging, but I like Agent Carter. I like the new season so far. I've seen 2 episodes, so we have to binge the next 3, which we've got, and then I'll do my episodes in. Lucifer, same thing. I saw the pilot. Love the guy, but it reminded me, it's like it's Sleepy Hollow set in Los Angeles, and or it's Elementary, but Sherlock is the devil. That was the problem, and I just hit something, and I hope I didn't screw everything up. Things showed up on my screen. It's like, I didn't mean to hit that. And I really like him, and this is based on the pilot only. That's all I've seen. Really like him. Really like the setting. Handsome black man is in it. That's what I call DB Woodhouse, because before I knew his name, it was just like, who is that? That is the handsome black man. I need to cast him in everything. I think DB Woodhouse is amazingly hot, and he's in it. So I'm like, oh, handsome black man's in this. I am seeing this movie. I'm watching
Woodhouse?
This. Yeah, he was principal something or other in, God, I can't remember.
DB Woodside?
Woodside, thank you. Yeah, sorry, Woodside.
Oh, yeah, okay, I recognize him.
Yeah. He was in Buffy as the hottie principal. Basically, he's hot in whatever he does because that man is gorgeous.
What's your role? Be hot.
Yeah, that's his role. Be hot. But he's really good. So I hated the female lead at the start. I just merely didn't like her by the end. She was growing on me. But it turned into it. They did Lucifer as a police procedural, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. Really love him. Really love the angel god setup. Not so excited about the devil solves murder mysteries. But we'll see. I've only seen the pilot. We'll watch for it. The beauty of 5 episodes in, you watch 5 episodes and you're either done or you're in. I will never watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. Thank you, 5 episodes in. That was the worst, the most anticipated series with the worst execution ever. And it's funny because people are like, oh, it's better now. It's like, no, it's not. Second episode came up, and my editor at Slice said, well, do you want to do the 5 episodes in of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I said, I will reveal Agents of Shit if and only when Chris Evans is on there as Captain America, and he's naked. I need a naked Chris Evans to show up to this shit show again. And I've never, it's awful. And then I have friends who are like, oh, no, it's great. So I'm on book tour in December, and I'm at a friend's house, not this December, so it was like a December ago. and we're at their place, and I'm writing, and they're watching the show, and I'm a chaos writer, so I can write with music and stuff going on. And they're like, "Oh my God, it's so good! I can't believe you don't like this anymore." And I listen to it, and I'm like, clunky dialogue, horrifically delivered, shitty effects. Yeah, no, I'm done. I never need to come back to that.
I've never watched it.
Don't waste your time. It's just awful. And
It makes me sound snobby, but when I usually tell people, like, I don't watch much network TV anymore. I don't like it.
You know, it depends. Elementary is my favorite show. I love it. I love Johnny Lee Miller's interpretation of Holmes. I love Lucy Liu as Watson. And it's funny. 10 years ago, I would have told you I don't like Lucy Liu at all. And then I had to have a come to Jesus with myself and accept for the fact that I should be the president of her fucking fan club, because I love everything she's in, including horrible movies. What was the name of that horrible one that RZA was in? Man with the Iron something or other. RZA was in that, right? RZA? RZA? Okay, so it's RZA. It's like Man with the Iron Arms or something. Russell Crowe. It's just, he brings the gun to a knife fight. I wanted to just like stab myself in the neck. Lucy Liu's in it though, and she's fucking awesome. There is nothing I've seen her in where I don't think she is amazing, and I had to accept that she is my favorite female actor. I love her.
Why didn't you like her?
You know, it's interesting. I was actually, I would say that I think I was affected by reporting for Charlie's Angels, which I loved. I heard that she and Bill Murray didn't get along on the set, and it was because she was bitchy. And then I learned a little bit more about Bill Murray and what a fucking asshole that man can be.
We gotta hang up. I can't hear anything negative. I don't want to know.
No. He's a dick half the time. Half the time he's the most wonderful man in the world. You know, he'll walk up and take a picture and stuff, and on the other half of the time, he's an utter fucking dick. And it's like, oh my God. And what it turns out, I've heard new reports, okay, he was attacking her on set for not being a good actress and not wanting to work with her because she was shit. I'm sorry. You're an older, experienced actor, and she's a young actress, and instead of mentoring her or just leaving her the fuck alone, you attack her for her skills and insult her. And you expected Drew Barrymore to pick you, and Drew Barrymore said, fuck you, sisters be doing it for themselves, and she stuck with the girls. I love Drew Barrymore as well. Adore her. That's a chick that I can relate to. No, I mean, she was an alcoholic at 7.
No, you're just funny.
No,
Lucy, Bill Murray, it's rant. It's good.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Bill Murray makes Zombieland. Okay, that is the best fucking cameo ever made. I enjoy Bill Murray very much. I love Groundhog Day. I love Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2, everybody needs to apologize for. But Ghostbusters, my favorite comedy is probably still Stripes. I love Stripes. Stripes is still, to me, the funniest movie ever made. Love Stripes. So I really enjoy Bill Murray. But at the same time, I feel like I was hating Lucy Liu for something that wasn't her fault. And the reality is I love her acting. I love her as Watson. I love her in everything she does. She is my favorite female actress. You know, it's like I adore her. I adore her. And I had to accept that because that was something that was like I had to change about myself. I had to accept that because my husband was like, I don't know why you're bitching about Lucy Liu. You love everything that woman does. And I thought about it, I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I'm like her biggest fan. I'm so embarrassed.
Even that movie she did with I almost called him Lorenzo Lamas. That's not right.
Even the shit stuff.
X vs. Ever, I think it was called.
The man, yes. Here's the thing. The Man with the Iron Arms. I don't know what it is. It's The Man with the Iron Fists. Okay, that's an awful movie. RZA did it. Really, RZA. I'm shocked because it's awful. But wait, it's Hong Kong Phooey. So my husband has watched it more than once. Okay, she's in it. Okay, it's awful. It's terrible. Russell Crowe is fat, bloated, and awful. Everybody's terrible in this. but Lucy Liu is fucking awesome. Even in the worst movies, she's still good. Apparently, she's who I'm taking to Lesbian Island because I adore her.
Man.
I love her. I girl crush, total girl crush. I had to accept she is my favorite actress, and I love her as Watson in Elementary. She elevates that show. Johnny Lee Miller is amazing as Holmes, and she is even more amazing as Watson. I just love that show. And by the way, if anybody they're going to be watching this, but you never know. If anybody involved in the production of Elementary would like my opinion, I want her and Marcus Bell together. God damn it. They are perfect together, and I love him because he's adorbs. So, anyway, they teased us with that, too.
What to say about the last 10 minutes.
I rarely ship dude, I'm not even done with the thing. And we have more of the thing. My husband can make a second set if necessary.
Well, hell yes. Thursday night, Slurs Day.
Slurs Day. Slurs Day. Oh, I love it. I'm using that. Honey, it's Thursday. Give me more booze.
That's right.
This is how I write. Sadly, this is really... Hemingway was not wrong. Okay, there's a reason authors are alcoholics. There's, honestly, there's a reason why artists are alcoholics and drug addicts. Not because, we love the drugs, we love the booze so much. It's because it shuts off your internal editor. When you're drunk, everything you fucking write is brilliant. And you don't argue with yourself. Hemingway said it, write drunk, edit sober. Write drunk, edit sober. I like to edit drunk too because it makes it more fun.
I have written some stuff while drinking and thinking it was just brilliant, like utter brilliance. And then the next morning I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck happened? So
I'm actually very good drunk because my characters get to completely and utterly take over and I shut up. So they're like, girlfriend, we are rolling. And it's like drunk. I'm probably going to write 20,000 words after we're off this. God, I hope so, because I have to write 200,000 words between now and the end of April. So 20,000 a night would be bitching.
That would be ridiculous. Yeah. All right, we've crossed an hour.
I've done 50,000 words in a week. I've done 50,000 words in a week.
Jesus.
Not every week. I wish to God I could do that every week.
I think my best ever was like 35,000, and I thought I was going to die afterwards.
That's so adorbs. That's adorbs. No, I was so jazzed. I was writing the end sequence of Alien Tango, so it's like the second half of the book, basically. 50,000 words 1 week. My poor husband. I rev on songs, and my songs need lyrics. We listen to the 69 Eyes, Perfect Skin, on repeat for a week. One song. I can do it. I can do it.
50,000 words. Listen to whatever in the hell you have to listen to.
Exactly. It was the best. And you'd think I would listen to that song all the time, but it only worked for that scene. I'm very musically affected. And it requires the right music at the right time. We're about to do drunk history. That's how much booze I've had. So, by the way, for those watching at home.
Unfortunately, we're over an hour, so.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. My fans will show up for the longer run. I will tell you that.
Well, you've been killer. Tell everyone where they can get a hold of you. Facebook, Twitter.
My website is the easy. I'm everywhere. I'm on all social media. Social media. It's easiest to find me via. Don't spew into the mic. That would be awkward. It's easiest to find me at my website, www.ginikoch.com, GINIKOCH.com. I'm on Twitter at Gini Koch, no space. There's a very, very nice, very cool gal in Germany who's also Gini Koch with a Ginny_Koch. She's not me. She is very kind about telling those people that friend her and like, I love your books. Go, I am the wrong one. She's really sweet. We friended each other. But and honestly, you could really make the mistake because she's into all the same things I'm into. She's into animals. She's into space. So, like, if you see a Gini Koch that's, like, retweeting every single solitary thing that NASA or some high-speed racers are doing, it's actually not me, it's her, though a lot of times I retweet her tweets. Because she's really cool. I really like her. It's nice. Because when I discovered that there was another Gini Koch on Twitter, I was honestly really worried. I'm like, oh, my God, she's going to get people thinking it's me. What if she's a heinous bitch? And she is really cool. Seriously, because you can be an asshole to people. That's not me. She's really nice about it. It's like, I'm the wrong one. No underscore, and you'll find her. And she's really cool, and she likes the same things I like. We've talked on Twitter before. I think she's awesome. Facebook, I'm at Gini Koch, or Hairspray and Rock and Roll, which is my fan page. Friend me on both. Follow both. I'm also on Pinterest, Gini Koch, and I have more Pinterest followers than I have anything else. I have a really cool see the characters board that I think is why people like it so much. I also have a Alien Collective board where we invite people in and you can post whatever you want. We'll clear it out if it's something that I don't approve. I have a really wide I loved Flesh Gordon, but I have a really wide range, but there's still things that that I will kick off. But that's really fun. And see the characters, I think people go to my Pinterest page for that, because you get to see who I'm envisioning as who, which is fun. I think a lot of authors do that. I'm certainly not the only one, but it's a fun thing for people to do. My husband's right. We were supposed to walk the dogs after this. I don't know if I can stand, let alone walk. He's laughing his ass off over there. Careful, I can turn the camera on you.
All right, people. Check out Gini Koch. Everything she just said. Apparently, Pinterest is a great place.
Yeah, the website. Go to the website. You find all my books off of my bookstore page.
For the love of God, go rent Flesh Gordon. It sounds like a masterpiece.
I don't know how this ended up with me pimping Flesh Gordon and Candy is the best movies of the
You only talked about porn for 20 minutes. It's fine.
Gosh, that's kind of short for me. So.
All right, Jenny, SP. Shut the fuck up, finally.
SP, you're awesome.
There's your episode, man.
Get his books. Kill zombies with a crowbar.